Hey, Zayoti. Old Devlog episode 2. Movement. In general, it's time to make the game itself, because it's famous to just call a video a devlog and not show a single frame of the game development. So, let's start creating a prototype. The first thing we do is go into the Unity and creating a new project, codenamed O. What do we need to know? First, what do we want? The main idea is a pixel 2D, kind of like a stealth shooter. What should it look like? In my mind, it should be cyberpunk on low settings, with weapons from Gungeon, high-tech abilities, and a pinch of magic, in the garbage crumbling scenery, eventually turning into civil areas. And there also should be a citadel from Half-Life. We can string it together neatly, but I don't know how to knit. My last masterpiece was to tie a button to my pants, and then not on the first attempt. So I'm just doomed to success in this. So, for the D games, there are two different options: how to position the camera. Side view. You have definitely seen it in 1001 performance. Always Super Meat Boy, Inside, Katana Zero, Rain World. Even your grandfather when probably dinosaurs walked on Earth played platformers like Mario, Mega Man, Sonic, Amazing Spider-Man. Not the point. This genre is older than the universe itself. I'm sure there is a theory that the Big Bang happened because God couldn't get through the damn maze in the Mario at the end of the 8th world, and he had to go through it all over again. Yes, developers used to be much tougher to the players. Now, however, they're much tougher to their well, so... But hey, now you don't have to die 10 times from an impossible jump, since you didn't even know about the existence of such a function as acceleration in Mario. So, did you know? I personally didn't, until I got to this jump, but all of these games are quite limited visually. Certainly sometimes the force of developers even level this, but still, for a shooter, the ability to shoot 360 rather than 180 degrees is still preferable. Well, then we have a top-down. It's closer for shooters. Hotline Miami, Draw Kickers, Nuclear Throne, Enter the Gungeon, or Metal Gear and Alien Breed. But, as in the first case, small opportunities for decorating levels in the conditions of 2D graphics lead us to the third option. Since both in the first and the second case we didn't use third coordinate, we combine them and get an isometric game. 2D, but it looks like 3D. Here you can already walk around with colorful landscapes, spectacular battles, addictive dialogues, and absorbing atmosphere. But if you use such a style not in 3D, it's pain. A very big pain. You know, right sorting of layers, you will know what's with colliders, and since there are much more opportunities to visual design, then you need to work on it extremely more. But I'm crazy. Then, this is what I need. So, the first thing is to stylize Hero. Since scaling him to the size of the game of the 80s is a dubious idea. Okay, it's time to justify the name. So, we return to Unity, and inside the Hero. To make it move, we use foresting. New input system. This is a package that allows to create events on keystrokes, rather than creating conditions in the update function in the usual way, which positively affects the performance. And also, in addition to the keyboard, we can add a gamepad for the roguelite enjoyers. What does it take for the hero to move? Code. What does it take to make him move not like a Michael Jackson? Animations. They can be drawn in Photoshop, but the timeline that jackled the image defeated me. And therefore, we are going to A Sprite. Its functionality is focused on pixel graphics and animation, so it's more convenient to do them here. Let's start with walking animation. Usually 6 frames are enough, but in the animation it is important that you like the movement itself, which it contains, and you can spend as many frames as you want. Even 3 cycles with different head rotation when walking. And you may ask, what the hell? It is not your hero at all. It's some kind of colored figures in shape of your hero. Are you trying to fool us? Yes, in fact no, it's just like in level design. You first need to play grey blocks in order to roughly understand the gameplay before pulling textures. Anyway, before you write an essay, you write it on the draft, right? It's the same thing. Believe me. When you're satisfied with an animation, we can start texturing. Next, the animation of running, as running in a stealth shooter will have a lot. It turned out a bit strange, but we tell the body in our heads and it's fine. Also, in many shooters, especially with bullet hell, there's a dodge roll, which is needed to dodge shots. Yes. Well, why not make it in a stealth shooter? It sounds hype. We also do animation of movement in a squad, for example, for movements in the canalization or something like that. And also idle animation, in order to rest in the middle of battle. Oh, see. Do you think that's all? No. But do you know why? Because each of these frames need to be redrawn several times, from a different angle with approximately the same movement, and each of them should be mirrored and slightly changed due to their symmetrical hair. So that as a result, out of 6 animations I got 216 frames, half of which had to be drawn with my own hand, and the other one additionally edited. And that's not all for this hero. And also a little less, we'll have to do it for every enemy friend, anyone. In general, everything had just begun, and I already know that by the end I will go crazy. Well, we embed all this into the Unity. And then I realized that I was a moron. Since the only way to do normally traditional 3D animation without shift is to make a grid, because otherwise this will be it. So we need to render the entire sprite with animations again and put them in the right part of the separate cell given a certain pixel distance, as in the original animation.
I'll fucking do it again.
So import it back to Unity. Then we combine this in animation, sometimes with the necessary intervals and additional events for special actions tied to animation. And now they need to be connected together. But since I don't have a water certification, I will have to use the animator built into Unity. No, get out! Fuck. We have a lot of animations and this is not a limit. But we don't want to make it web of all possible connections, of all possible transitions, of all possible animations, so we have to get out. The animator has an any state die that allows you to make transitions from any other current animation. It cuts down our list of connections, and we can simply output them into one common one, and then exchange variables in a certain way by choosing the animation. And to simplify the turns, we can take a blend tree. It allows us to make combined animations, and in the case of 2D, it can be used as an animation node, if you exclude overlap. And yes, using a substate machine is too easy, I just didn't know about it before. Anyway, I'll read it. For sure. Probably. Maybe. Okay, we connect everything through the code. Depending on the direction of movement, we play different animations. Depending on the final direction, different idle animations. Moving in a squat, running, and roll. And here's the question. Jason Statham once said, "Why walk if there's nowhere to walk?" And he left. So we are doing a small level. The block. Well, it doesn't look like a level. I can write a small script to move objects strictly by pixels, and also to move to the left or to the right at a distance equal to itself. For this you need to... Are you a dumbass? There's a tilemap editor. Wow! But you can make brushes and literally draw with them in Unity. Oh, cool, let's do that! Open the tile palette, create a new one, show our sprites there, and now we can draw with them. Stop. But first we have to feed them to the grid with these sliders. Yes, that's much better. And also, since we choose this thing, now we can move the entire tile map along imaginary 3D coordinates. Isn't it great? Then we fill wall screen with these positive blocks. Make a couple of pits, walls, barrels, and add a collision to everything. Now we can move around the same location in different ways. Well, it's more like a game than nothing. But there's still a bunch of everything that needs to be done, for example superimposing objects on each other, also making more gameplay pieces like shooting, enemies, etc., following the camera behind the player, and much more. But that's some other time. I would appreciate if you like or subscribe to the channel, because this is the best motivator for action. Good luck and see ya! We just need to dodge shots. Yes. 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 Yes!